Welcome back to From the Shed End. Welcome back. What can I say? Before I say anything, make sure you go and subscribe to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as well. Make sure you hit that Linktree link in the description as well. What can I say? What can I say? What a poor performance. We're going to get onto the performance, but I want to just maybe drop a few gems for a few people, because I'm seeing a lot of, I can't believe we lost. I can't believe Lampard lost his first game back in charge. Like, I'm not sure where everyone's been for the last 6 or 7 months, because this is the performances we've been putting out week in, week out. This isn't something new. This isn't suddenly a new Chelsea where we've won back-to-back games for the last 3 months and then suddenly we've lost the game against Wolves. We've been playing this bad all season. This is exactly why Graham Potter has left the club. So I don't understand where this whole, I can't believe it, the shock, the sudden shock that we're actually really rubbish at football this season as a club. I don't get that. So I'm not sure where that comes from. Me personally, I said in my prediction, I thought we were going to win. I thought we had enough about us to win the game. I even said that today. I thought we should win. We should, based on paper, whoever we put out, especially if we play with Aubameyang, which we'll get onto why that was a crazy decision not to play him. But this is what our season has been like all season. This isn't new. This is not just a sudden blip that we're having over the last couple of weeks. We've been this poor all season. So I'm really surprised when I see, go online and I see people suddenly shocked that we're playing this bad. This is the performances we've been putting in. So let's get that out of the way, first of all. Lampard, for me personally, and I've said this before, has to just be for the interim. I don't want to see Frank Lampard beyond next season or beyond this season. I don't want to see him taking pre-season. I don't want to see him anywhere near the club, with the greatest respect, of course. But at the same time as well, we have to get this long-term manager secured in the next couple of weeks. If anything taught us anything today, it's Todd Bowley has to get the next manager in line for Chelsea in the next couple of weeks, because we can't keep going into these games, which are coming thick and fast. We can't go into these games and not know what our future looks like. There's uncertainty around who's going to manage us. Who's that going to be? We should announce that as soon as possible once a deal has been done with whoever it's going to be. Now, the reasons I don't want Frank Lampard to manage at the club is he's clearly not technically a good enough manager, in my opinion, to manage at the top level at a top club. We still have badly done at Everton, and yes, Everton haven't got as resources as Chelsea, but at the same time as well, you can't pick that lineup that you picked today, Frank Lampard, and think you're going to beat Wolverhampton Wanderers. This is a man who has been out of football. He hasn't managed a team for a while. Let's get the lineup. Let's show the lineup. This is the lineup we went with today. We went with Kepa in goal. We went with a back four, which I did think we were going to do. I predicted that in the lineup, the prediction this morning. So we went with Reece James as right back, Wesley Fofana right centre back, Koulibaly left centre back, Marc Cucurella. I'm going to say it one more time. Marc Cucurella left back. Crazy. That is your first mistake, Frank Lampard. Marc Cucurella. Yes, Ben Chilwell has to be rested because we've got a big game coming up against Real Madrid in a week. But Marc Cucurella. 3 midfield. Conor Gallagher. We're going to get onto him. Enzo Fernandez and Mateo Kovacic in the midfield. We then went with João Felix, Kai Havertz and Raheem Sterling. I don't think Frank Lampard, if asked, would you play that team again? He would say yes. Because for me, Ben Chilwell has to start over Marc Cucurella. You're a Chelsea legend through and through. You've probably watched every single game that Graham Potter has been in charge at the club, and you've seen how poor this man has been, Marc Cucurella, at the club so far. You can't pick him over Ben Chilwell, regardless of the Champions League. If you're winning 2-0 against Wolves, that's your moment to bring off Ben Chilwell and bring on Marc Cucurella, not the other way around. Conor Gallagher. How did Conor Gallagher, I just need to double check, did Conor Gallagher actually end the game? I think he did. So Conor Gallagher played 95 plus minutes in a game where, to be honest, he just runs around. No vision, no awareness, nothing at all. Enzo playing as a 6, criminal. I get why N'Golo Kante wasn't in the team, and for me, there's probably 2 reasons for that. One, yes, you're resting him again for the Champions League, but you do have to remember, one, he's coming back from a big injury, and I did have him in my predicted lineup. And also, it is Ramadan. No, not, I know obviously Koulibaly, Fofana played, but we don't know the circumstances behind the scenes as to why he's not playing. We got to see Mo Salah was rested for the majority of the game against us in the last week as well. So those things probably are playing a factor into Kante as well. We don't know. But if he's fit, if he's available, if he wants to play, put him on the bench at least. Put him on the bench. Don't just take him out of the team because you know, I mean, the Champions League is a different kettle of fish. This is Wolverhampton Wanderers and we struggled. They dominated us today. Real Madrid are going to tear us a new one. When we get to the Bernabeu, we ain't winning that game if we play like we did today. So for me, Kante had to be in that team today. He has to be in the team or on the bench. He has to be. It made 0 sense. Mateo Kovacic, another one. I love him. And for me, Mateo Kovacic, I always talk about him with the greatest respect. He's one of my favourite midfielders in the team that we've got currently at the moment. But today he was off. Today he was off. He didn't look himself. Again, is it a game too much for him? But he just doesn't. You don't know what Kovacic you're getting now. Are you going to get the brilliant Kovacic that can change the game, get the ball forward, drive forward the ball? Or are you going to get the Kovacic that just makes clumsy challenges and loses possession of the ball? I don't get it. So, not to say that wouldn't be my pick, but, you know, I know under Frank Lampard, Kovacic is one of the players that was played a lot. He was one of the best players under Frank Lampard. So, he's going to play him. But the front three, thankfully I was sitting down when the team news came out, but the front three of João Felix, Kai Havertz, Frank Lampard, you've been watching every single game we've been doing for how long? Kai Havertz up front. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is on the bench. He's on the bench. Why have you got a number 9 on the bench? You need a goal. You need a striker. I'm going to put him on the bench. The first time he's been in the squad for how long and he's on the bench? Raheem Sterling. Nothing from him today. Nothing. Nothing from Raheem Sterling today. Poor from Raheem Sterling. Poor. The front three was non-existent. Non-existent. That I can't even think of a time when we actually done something for Jose Sarr to save. I don't think we even gave him something to save. Poor. We were just poor. We were second best to the ball. We were second best in the tackles. We didn't dominate the possession. Semedo and Nunes were having a field day down that left side with Kovacic and Cucurella. We made it so easy for them. So easy for them to go down that left side and do what they want. It was pathetic. It was one of the worst performances, I think, for me personally, that I've seen from the team, not just this season, but in a very long time. I'm talking the last 5, 6, 7 seasons. That is up there with one of the worst performances I think I've ever seen from Chelsea in the last couple of seasons, because there was no desire, there was no urgency when we went 1-0 down. And let's credit Wolves because they played really well. The goal was brilliant. I mean, Nunes took that like it was so easy, and the technique on that is so hard. But Marco Correa has to do better there. I think even going back a step, Enzo Fernandez and Wesley Fofana, I think, was a poor header from Fofana to Enzo. Enzo loses possession, and before you know it, the ball's on the left side. As I've just said, how easy it was for them to get that ball over to the left side and do what they want. And Cucurella does have to get out closer, because I think in fact, if anything, he impedes Kepa's vision, who sees the ball late. But it's a brilliant shot. I don't think you can take away the goal from Nunes. I think it's a brilliant shot and a brilliant strike. But we were just poor all the way over. And if this is something for me now, where I look at these performances, and I've already said it on here before, I've written off this season. The season is, for me, is over, regardless of the Champions League. If we go on and we win the Champions League, then great. But I still want a long-term manager in charge of this club before the end of this season. I don't care about Frank Lampard's legacy as a player. We're talking and basing him and judging him based on his managerial qualities and ability. He is not up to the job. He isn't. And I get why he's coming. Because the fans aren't going to bash Frank Lampard as much as they would bash Graham Potter today if Graham Potter was still in charge. And every single Chelsea fan would want Graham Potter sacked today had he still been in charge. So I get why he's coming. He's coming just to be the person who is the face of the mistakes that Todd Bowley has made, and the other people that are involved in these decision making over the last 6 or 7 months. He is now the face to cover up all of those bad choices that have been made at the club. And now Frank Lampard knows this is, again, like I said the other day, this is a win-win for Frank Lampard. He can walk away at the end of this and still get another job somewhere. I mean, he's managing Chelsea Football Club. It's one of the biggest clubs in Europe. So he's easily going to get another job. For us, we have to focus on long term. And that's where my mind isn't even on Real Madrid or this season. I'm now thinking of next season. Who needs to go? We're going to get onto this. Christian Pulisic, Raheem Sterling, Koulibaly. 3 players that were poor today. Christian Pulisic spent more time on the floor than he did actually attempting to do a 1v1 and actually successfully doing it. He's got to go. Kai Havertz has to go. These players have to go. Modric came on, didn't do anything. Aubameyang comes on, doesn't affect the game. Like, we've got so many mediocre, poor, just players that are just there. They're just there. They don't do anything. You look at other teams. You look at, and I've said this before, many times before. You look at Newcastle and how they play under Eddie Howe, and they fight. And I think they even went 1-0 down today. I'm pretty sure they will win. If they weren't, I'm sure they won 2-1. They fight until the end. But we don't even do that. We go 1-0 down, and you already know the result is going to be a defeat. It's poor from us. We've got to stop playing. Next season, we can't carry certain players through to that season. We really can't. We can't carry Pulisic through. We can't carry Kai Havertz through. We can't carry the likes of Conor Gallagher, Hakim Ziyech. All of these people that are on big money, they're on good wages. And where is Hakim Ziyech? We don't see him. They're just there. They're just getting a living, earning a good, decent wage, and they don't even put in a performance. And credit to all those fans that travelled up to Wolverhampton. You know, people are travelling from like all across the country to go and watch that performance. It's disgusting. It's poor from us, and we have to get that resolved. Todd Bowley has to get this managerial appointment right and early, because we've got so much to do in the summer. So much to do in the summer. We have players that we've got to get rid of before a deadline in June. We have so many players we need to get rid of anyway, regardless of the timescale. We have so many players on big money that don't do anything at the club but run. They just run. I'd love to know what the XG was for today, but I can tell you it's low, and I bet you any money that obviously it was lower than Wolverhampton's. We're poor. We're poor from front to back today, and going into that Real Madrid game, I mean, we're talking about a team that will just rip us to shreds. Vinicius Jr., Benzema, Rodrigo, Luka Modric. So many world-class players with a world-class manager. And we go in there, and we a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about, yeah, we've done it before. We can beat Real Madrid. Not on the basis of what we just watched today, we won't. Poor from us today. We have to do something different in the next couple of weeks by bringing in the manager that we want long term, to allow him to sit and assess and make decisions with this board, with the Winstanleys and Vivels and whoever else is in that room making these crazy decisions, and get that manager in the room now. Because if we don't, we're going to fall short next season again. And then we might fall short again the next season. And then before you know it, you're only trying to compete for Conference League football. And then before you know that, you're a mid-table team. And then before that, you're sitting amongst Southamptons and Evertons and whoever else is in the relegation scrap in a couple of seasons. So that's how it will go. And if we end up in that position, who knows? Who knows what happens after that? So we need to get a manager in who's quality. Nagelsmann, Enrique, whoever it is, I don't really know who else is in the running anymore, but whoever else is in contention for that job has to be brought in as soon as possible, before it's too late, before Tottenham get their man, or someone else gets their man, or Real Madrid go and get their man as well. You know, we have to act fast, and we're the front runners. Nagelsmann wants the job, so we could offer Nagelsmann the job in the next couple of weeks to start in the summer. If that's the case, let's get that done. Crazy times being a Chelsea fan, honestly. But let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for everyone who subscribed, and can slowly see those subscribers going up. So make sure you continue to do that if you haven't done so already. Make sure you hit the Linktree link in the description. Episode 88 is out now. We will try and get another preview out for the Real Madrid game as well. No, Theo is traveling to Spain, so hopefully we can get that podcast 89 episode wrapped up before then as well. If not, thank you very much for watching. We'll be back very soon with another video.